At the start of the movie, we witness an incident unfolding in Finland. A young girl named Alia is being chased by several men in the forest. To her surprise, the pursuers turn out to be members of her own family. In an attempt to escape, Alia jumps into a lake, but the men catch her before she can drown. The scene then shifts to a bank, where a man named Rex is waiting in line with a specific purpose. Although the reason for his presence is unclear, it is evident that he is there to see Maddie, his crush. Suddenly, robbers storm the bank, killing a security guard and disrupting the previously calm atmosphere. In the chaos, Rex notices a gun in a woman's bag, but she is unable to take any action due to the risk involved. As everyone faces the threat, Rex restrains his emotions, appearing to hold back from acting impulsively. However, an unexpected turn of events occurs when the woman's bag, containing the gun, lands right on Rex's lap. The next scene takes us to a courtroom, where Rex is inexplicably being sued by the judge for killing all the robbers during the bank incident. Despite having single-handedly neutralized all of the robbers and saved numerous lives during that fateful incident, he is sentenced to 8 years in prison. Fast forward 8 years, we catch a glimpse of Rex, now a free man, as he gazes at a magazine featuring his own face. The publication still portrays him as a hero, perpetuating his reputation from 8 years ago. Upon his release from prison, Rex does not face social rejection but rather becomes a constant target of public attention and hounded by reporters. The overwhelming scrutiny he endures leaves Rex feeling uneasy and, at this juncture, his conscience or another facet of his personality manifests itself physically. This alternate persona appears to possess a more emotionally charged nature than Rex himself. Overwhelmed by their presence, Rex suddenly rises from his seat and hurls his desk at the imaginary group, a cathartic release for the pent-up emotions resulting from his current stress. Despite Rex's widespread recognition as a hero, there are still individuals who harbor resentment towards his valiant efforts, branding him as a deranged lunatic. Seeking solace, Rex confides in his friend, expressing his frustration with a life that has become anything but ordinary due to the overwhelming attention he receives. Consequently, he reaches a definitive decision to leave his current city behind and embark on a new chapter of his life in Finland. Remarkably, Rex's rationale for choosing Finland as his destination stems from a seemingly inconsequential event during his time in prison when he playfully shot a spitball that fortuitously landed in the Nordic country. The scene shifts to a dense forest where a man desperately flees from a group of pursuers. Strikingly, these individuals bear an uncanny resemblance to the people encountered at the beginning of the film, implying that the entire series of events unfolds within the borders of Finland, the very place Rex is headed. The man's escape is abruptly interrupted when a menacing creature forcefully seizes him, its terrifying sounds reverberating through the woods. Returning to Rex, he now finds himself at the airport, surrounded by the usual crowd of people eager to capture his every move on film. Among the onlookers, he notices a husband and wife who appear to be discreetly observing him. As the commotion escalates and cameras continue to roll, Rex's annoyance grows, leading him to make a decision: he will seek respite in the restroom. However, upon his arrival, he discovers the husband of the peculiar couple already occupying the restroom, unabashedly staring at Rex while he attempts to relieve himself. Upon returning to his seat, Rex is met with a disconcerting smile from the wife of the enigmatic couple. Finally arriving in Finland, Rex finds himself waiting for a taxi, contemplating the new chapter that awaits him in this foreign land. As he waits, he is observed by a taxi driver from a distance. The taxi driver swiftly cuts through the line and stops right in front of Rex. Once inside the taxi, the driver releases an anesthetic gas, causing Rex to lose consciousness and eventually pass out. In another scene, an apparently ordinary family is seen preparing dinner, giving no indication of their sinister nature. However, the surprise comes when we see Rex, already kidnapped and bound in their basement. His hands are tied, and one of his legs has been amputated. Realizing the situation, Rex attempts to scream, but is silenced by someone, the person representing his conscience, who urges him to stay quiet. Rex's conscience becomes a means for him to release his emotions by screaming about what has happened to him. It becomes apparent that Rex's conscience is smarter and more sadistic than he is, playing a significant role in both Rex's life and his survival. It can analyze the situation surrounding Rex, including the current events. After assessing the circumstances, Rex's conscience concludes that the strange couple from the airport are the ones responsible for the current predicament. As Rex despairs over his condition, his conscience can no longer bear it and starts devising a plan for their escape. However, due to the strength of the restraints on his hands, his conscience has alternative plans to ensure their survival. According to his alter ego, if the kidnapper suddenly appears, he must feign unconsciousness. Observing numerous bicycles around him, the alter ego deduces that the perpetrators are a family. Meanwhile, all the family members have already retired upstairs for the night, except for Olavi, the youngest child, who remains awake and curious about their latest victim. Rex, still struggling to untie the rope with his teeth, watches as the young boy decides to venture into the basement where Rex is being held. Unfortunately, the efforts are in vain as the rope proves too thick to undo. As the boy enters the basement room, Rex immediately pretends to be unconscious upon realizing that the intruder is just a child. Rex then formulates a plan to use the boy as leverage to secure his escape. He attempts to persuade Olavi before striking him in the face with his amputated leg and immobilizing him with his thighs. Shortly after, Olavi's sister, Alia, realizes her brother is missing and decides to search for him in the basement. It is revealed that Alia is the same young girl who previously tried to escape from a group of men. This indicates that her family is responsible for Rex's current predicament. Rex threatens to harm the boy if Alia tries to harm him. However, in a panicked state, Rex accidentally lets go of Olavi, jeopardizing his means of escape. When the unconscious Olavi is discovered in the room, the psychopathic family rushes him to the hospital. The mother slaps Alia, thinking she had harmed her brother. This event highlights Alia's distinct nature compared to her family, suggesting she may present an opportunity for Rex to escape. This opportunity strengthens when Alia suddenly smiles and fantasizes about being married to Rex, indicating an instant attraction to him. With her family at the hospital, Alia promptly goes downstairs to tend to Rex's leg. She expresses her feelings for him and begins to recount her family's history of kidnapping people to feed her cannibalistic elder brother, who has a disorder that drives him to crave human flesh. Alia discloses her attempts to escape from her family's grasp and the subsequent imprisonment in a wooden cage built by her father. After sharing her story, Alia starts feeling remorse for Rex and leaves a knife on the floor, asking him to free himself. When Rex manages to grab the knife and attempts to cut the rope, Alia's 3 brothers suddenly appear, intending to kill him. Rex quickly feigns unconsciousness, successfully diverting their intentions. Meanwhile, his alter ego is visibly furious and eager to eliminate the family members. It becomes evident that this cannibalistic family has chosen the wrong person to kidnap. They notice that Rex's leg has been bandaged, arousing suspicion, and start searching for Alia in her room. However, Alia remains hidden in the basement until her brother returns and takes her upstairs. Rex is injected with a substance that induces uncontrollable laughter. The scene then shifts back 8 years ago, when Rex fought the bank robbers and demonstrated his brutality in slaughtering them. His alter ego had taken control at that time, enabling him to become a hero to the onlookers. During his attempt to save his lover, Maddie, Rex's indifference to the potential casualties frightened her. After the robber releases Maddie, Rex, driven by his ego, impulsively shot the robber. Tragically, the robber's weapon misfired and a bank employee, who was hiding in a nearby cupboard, lost their life. Consequently, Rex was sentenced to 8 years in prison for allegedly prioritizing his desires over the lives of others. Moreover, due to the lengthy sentence, Maddie, who had been saved by Rex, decided to end their relationship as she didn't want to wait for his release. Returning to Rex, he regains consciousness only to discover that the psychopath is in the midst of amputating his leg. In a desperate act of self-defense, Rex kicks the psychopath, causing him to retreat momentarily for an anesthetic. Seizing the opportunity, Rex attempts to free himself by cutting the rope binding his hands with a knife provided by Alia. When the psychopath returns, Rex swiftly stabs the knife into his ear canal. With no time to spare, Rex searches for tools and weapons to aid his escape, fortunately finding a suitable tool for the upcoming scene. Relying on a golf club attached to his leg, he musters his strength to ascend to the upper floor. In the climactic conclusion, Rex's conscience prompts him to rescue Alia from the house. Walking out of the premises, Rex contemplates the guidance of his conscience, indicating that they have reached a decision about their future actions. As both parents return home from the hospital, they are greeted with shock at the bloodstains adorning their house's front. To their surprise, their children are still asleep, leading the parents to gather them and scold them for allowing Rex's escape. Fearful of Rex's potential return with the police, the parents devise a plan to relocate, but their efforts are doomed to fail. Underneath the table, Rex lies in wait, prepared to confront them. Employing a nail gun, he systematically eliminates each family member. However, when Rex attempts to shoot the mother, the nail bullets run out, compelling him to strike her head with the golf club attached to his amputated leg. Witnessing the gruesome scene, the son tries to attack Rex, but is swiftly impaled by a knife, resulting in his demise. Meanwhile, Alia eliminates her mother, who has just regained consciousness. Despite the horrifying events, their freedom remains elusive as they must confront Alia's eldest cannibal brother. The monstrous figure of Alia's brother descends the stairs, setting the stage for a final showdown between Rex and the cannibal. In a fierce battle, Rex manages to cling onto the refrigerator door, only to discover a piece of his own leg inside. Filled with relief, Rex seizes the opportunity and thrusts his preserved leg into the cannibal's mouth. Once the ordeal is over, Rex and Alia embark on a journey back to America, where they choose to start a new life together. In a later scene, Rex and Alia are seen enjoying themselves with friends. However, Alia becomes jealous when one of their friends shows interest in Rex. In a revealing moment, it becomes evident that Alia possesses a similar alter ego to Rex as she fantasizes about harming the woman who stirs her jealousy. This shared inclination suggests that Rex and Alia are well matched due to their almost identical alter egos. Meanwhile, in a separate location, the youngest child from Alia's family, Olav, having recovered from his injury, harbors a desire to avenge the deaths of his family members. With this unresolved tension, the film comes to an end.